Let's talk about something you probably do every single day without even thinking about it, brushing your teeth. But what if I told you that the core principles of modern dentistry, prevention, the right tools, the right techniques, were laid out with incredible detail over 1,400 years ago in Islamic tradition? Today, we're diving into that amazing connection.
And this quote right here from our source material really gets to the heart of it all. This was never just about fixing problems after they happened. The whole philosophy was built around a powerful, proactive idea: stop the disease before it even has a chance to start.
So, here's our roadmap. We'll start with that foundational principle of prevention. Then, we'll meet the original natural toothbrush. After that, we'll see how the advice went way beyond just brushing, explore the deep spiritual side of hygiene, and finally, we'll see where this ancient wisdom and modern science totally sync up.
Okay, let's jump right in with that first big idea, prevention. Because really, this is the cornerstone that everything else is built on.
You know, we've all heard this saying, right? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's the foundation of modern public health. What's so amazing is that this exact same idea was being taught centuries ago, treating health not as a series of fixes, but as a lifestyle of maintenance.
And check this out. The approach was totally holistic. It started with what you were putting into your body. This guidance from the Quran draws a direct line between eating in moderation and preventing illness. It shows that good health isn't just one action. It's about balance in everything.
And this, right here, is our first big aha moment. That ancient focus on proactive care? Well, today we call it preventive dentistry. It's literally the same idea, a whole field of medicine dedicated to stopping cavities and gum disease before they ever need a cure.
So we've got the why, the principle of prevention. Now let's get into the how. What were the actual tools and techniques they were using to make this happen?
All right, meet the star of the show, the miswak. It's a chewing stick that comes from a specific tree, the Salvadora persica. And as you can see from this quote, its use was a huge deal. This wasn't just a casual tip, it was seen as a vital, almost mandatory part of daily life.
Okay, this is where things get really fascinating. For centuries, people just knew the miswak worked, but today we know why it works. It's like a little chemical factory. It naturally contains fluoride to strengthen enamel, silica for gentle cleaning, tannins to soothe gums, and even an antibacterial alkaloid called salvadorine. It's an all-in-one dental tool straight from nature.
In fact, the benefits were seen as covering both body and soul. According to tradition, there are at least 12 distinct advantages to using the miswak, and they range from the purely physical, like cleaning your mouth, to the spiritual, like pleasing God. And the advice on technique? Absolutely timeless. They recommended a gentle, vertical motion brushing away from the gums. Sound familiar? It should. It's precisely what modern dentists tell us to do, while warning us against that aggressive, side-to-side scrubbing that can do so much damage. But believe it or not, the guidance didn't just stop with the toothbrush. The goal was to take care of the entire mouth. And that meant thinking about diet and even those little spaces between your teeth. I mean, it's a fair question, right? It was a problem back then just like it is now. So how did these ancient teachings tackle it? Turns out, they were incredibly thorough. They didn't just point out the obvious causes, like leftover food particles or onions. They actually recommended specific foods that could help freshen your breath. And look at this list: cheese, dates, raisins. We now know some of these can actually help balance the pH levels in your mouth. How incredible is that? And for that annoying piece of food stuck between your teeth? Yep, there was a tool for that too. It was called the kalal. It was basically a traditional toothpick, showing they knew how crucial it was to clean where a brush just can't reach. It's the ancient ancestor of flossing. And just like with the miswak, this simple act was given this profound spiritual weight. This quote suggests that a clean mouth wasn't just for your own comfort. It was a space that deserved respect. It's another example of tying a physical habit directly to your faith.
And that brings us to a really key part of this whole philosophy. These weren't just health tips you might find in a magazine. These were actions that were woven directly into a person's spiritual life. So basically, taking care of your teeth was actually considered an act of worship. It was a physical way of showing your inner purity and your devotion. And that provides a kind of motivation that goes way, way deeper than just trying to avoid a cavity. This quote just sums it up perfectly. It's a beautiful, simple equation. One action, two massive benefits. The physical act of cleaning leads directly to a spiritual reward. Health and faith weren't two separate things. They were completely intertwined.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. We've seen the principles, the tools, and the deep spiritual meaning. So how does this mountain of ancient guidance stack up against what we know from modern science today?
Well, the alignment is just stunning. The ancient guidance said prevent, don't just cure. Today, we call that preventative dentistry. The guidance recommended the miswak, and now science has validated its antimicrobial and anti-plaque properties. The ancient view connected oral health to your overall well-being, and now modern science is finding concrete links between gum disease and things like heart disease. The parallels are just undeniable.
And this quote, from the conclusion of the very paper we've been exploring, says it all. This isn't a story about science disagreeing with religion. It's a powerful example of modern discovery actually confirming the effectiveness of ancient wisdom.
So that really leaves us with one last